Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. Today I have a layout process video for you that I intended to get up back in May, but due to new business arrangements, my life has been crazy, and so I'm bringing that layout to you today. And this is my final layout from my design team work over at the Counterfeit Kit Challenge, so let's go ahead and get into it. So here is the story I want to tell today. My daughter likes to bake for special occasions like birthdays and Mother's Day. On this particular occasion, the butter was frozen, so she decided to juggle it before she got down to baking. So that is the story I want to tell today. Of course, I'm going to tell this story with my counterfeit kit for this month and my last kit as a design team member. Now, this was supposed to be a scraps challenge, but I didn't have a lot of what I would consider scraps left over. I did have big blocks of paper left over, so I'm sorting through all of this, trying to decide what I want to do. And this layout is going to involve a lot of pattern, which is not my typical thing. So I'm learning how to incorporate more pattern onto my layouts. I'm going to have strawberries, this kind of plaid pattern, a floral pattern, and then that teacup print that you see way in the background. Now I'm also starting to incorporate this green pattern into the layout, but as I go along, I decided I've reached my pattern limit and I will ditch that green in favor of another subtler pattern of paper. But in the meantime, I am creating these rings that I want to use to highlight the butter in that picture because you can't really see it very well. So I start off with a smaller circle punch and then I line up a larger circle punch around that to create this ring. I did a couple of different options and decided which size I liked best, which was that last option there. As you can see from the paper on my table, I haven't ditched the green just yet, but as I'm starting to put all of these layers together, I am feeling a little overwhelmed because, like I said, this is not my thing. I do decide to use the subtler print as the narrow band across my layout and put the strawberries more in the background. That was not the original plan. The original plan was to do the opposite and have the strawberries more up front. But again, I was feeling uncomfortable. So as I start getting the layers down and I'm starting to add this green pattern in there, that is when I kind of break and I'm done with too much pattern. With those couple of green circles in place, I reach for my blue floral print again. I know I don't want to use the floral because again, it's too much pattern, but the back side of the floral is this subtle grid print, and I decide I do like that. So I'm going to redo all my circles punched out of this color instead. With that change, I am definitely feeling much happier, and now I'm thinking that to help calm down so much pattern, I'm going to put neutral strips in between each layer of pattern to just kind of help separate them, give them some buffer, and to prevent them from being so overwhelming. And that is going to work for me in terms of using a lot more pattern on my layout. So this is a very good learning process for myself to know how I can use a lot of pattern and still not feel overwhelmed by it. Another thing I did in this process was inking the edges of those papers with some black ink just to give them, again, just a little more separation from everything that's going on behind them. And I only inked the pattern papers, not the white borders that I used. With all of those layers glued down, I decided I needed more of these circles, so I went ahead and did a few more punches in different sizes because I wanted some bigger circles to add in. And I'm going to spread these around the layout, kind of like you might see juggling balls flying through the air. So that was the thought process there. And I'm going to try and place them in areas where I want to put embellishment clusters. So I love my visual triangle of embellishment clusters. So upper left of my photo, lower right of my photo, and then far upper right of my title. And those will be my main embellishment zones. Off camera, I pulled a bunch of embellishment bits that I want to use in my clusters, and we will start spreading them around. I also have that U word that I'm going to add to my title, but before I do that, I realized I needed to ink my circles so that they stand off against the background a little bit more because they are subtle tone on mostly another subtle tone. I even inked the inside of my ring using a Sharpie marker, so if you do this ring technique, you can give that a try as well. All that is glued down, and now I'm going to alter up this word so that it fits in better with my title. Because I had glued everything down too tightly, I couldn't tuck it, the swoop of the Y tuck under there, so I had to cut it off instead. Moving on to the general embellishing, I didn't show this whole process in this video. If you like seeing more of my thought process and hearing why I put things where I put them, drop me a comment and let me know, because I can leave this footage in if you guys are interested in that. Otherwise, I'm saving time by cutting it out. Once I have a start to where I want all my clusters to go, I am ready to keep filling in those embellishments. With the last of the embellishments glued in place, it's time to give it a tip test to make sure I haven't missed anything. And here's a little bit of a peek, and that's when I realized, well, I did kind of miss something. I needed to trim off anything that's overhanging the layout. With that done, we can take a look at how all of these clusters came together. All right, that wraps up my layout for this time, and it wraps up my time on the Counterfeit Kit Challenge design team. I hope to continue participating on the community end of everything over there, and along with that, bringing you my own take on scrapbook kit building in the future. I will be back hopefully every Saturday moving forward, and until I see you next time, I hope you have an artful day.